Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. We hope you're doing well. Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Hey, I thought I'd give you some perspective on some of the news that's been really circulating a lot in the past week or two here in the Philippines. And this is not something that's new in the Philippines. The Philippines is going to go through water shortages again this year. The sunny, dry season is coming and it's on its way, and already they're warning of water shortages. The only problem that I have with this is there's actually no shortage of water. So continue on with me for a few minutes and let us kind of explore this a little deeper. For every year that we've been in the Philippines, back and forth between the Philippines and the U.S., and living in the Philippines full time, uh, there's always a water shortage. And it isn't always in the hot summer dry months, which is what we're approaching now. And there's a reason for it. It's a really good reason. But the real reasons are, why is there such a shortage with so much water? Because there's plenty of water. If you look at the total annual rainfall, it's excessive. If you look at the fact that with a little bit of useful technology such as water desalination, I mean, the Philippines is surrounded by the China Sea, the West Philippine Sea, the Pacific Ocean. Uh, I mean, it's islands, for God's sakes, in the middle of the ocean. There's plenty of water desalinated. But they don't even have to do that. If you look at all of the news throughout the course of the year, where you see landslides and mudslides and everything else because of water. And if you look at the typhoons that drench parts of the Philippines annually, you'll see that there's lots and lots and lots of water. There are several reasons why we're going to have a water shortage. And I would actually say, by definition of the water shortage that the Philippines currently uses, they're going to do nothing about it. And they're going to do nothing about it because it already exists. You see, water shortages here only became a big deal, apparently, to the government when the people that had money, the people that live in Manila, started raising Cain that they didn't have water, that they were having, and this happened several years back when they actually had to ration water for a couple of weeks. I think it was maybe a month. All right. And when I say ration it, it was only available in certain areas during certain hours on certain days. It's not like anybody ran out of water to drink or anything like that. But if you go and you look outside of the city, outside the big cities, you go to the province, it's not uncommon for you to have no water for 6 to 12 hours a day. It's not uncommon for when you do have water for it to be a trickle. I mean, it would take an hour to fill up a gallon jug. That might be a little excessive in many instances. Uh, and that's really not uncommon and has never been uncommon. The reason we have a water shortage is a lack of multiple things. The first one is we don't store water here. When I say we, the Philippines does not store water effectively here. They don't have enough storage facilities, and they can't direct runoff to the right facilities all the time. They cap off or there's no way to transport. So water just runs off, goes into the ocean. I mean, you have to remember the Philippines, don't think of it like Midwest America. The reason the Philippines exists is because the majority of the Philippines is granite and limestone. It's rock. You can only soak up so much water and you can only fill those aquifers so full. Okay? Given time, you could fill them more, but the water doesn't stick around long enough because it all goes downhill into the ocean. The second reason is simply because the storage facilities themselves are not in repair. And the government admits this. Well, actually, not the government, because the government doesn't actually control it. They are consortiums. All right? It's like a water mafia almost. They lose water all the time. And then finally, they have to transport that water. And transporting the water only goes to the people who have money. And once it gets to, I can guarantee you there won't be an empty tap in Makati, all right, in Manila, during the hot, dry summer months. That's not going to happen. The infrastructure to transport that water is in need of a tremendous amount of repair. Now, the current government is, as every other government has said they were doing, stepping forward and mandating that the water companies do something. That the water companies must deliver water, and I applaud them for that. And I hope to see that they will stay on top of them and make sure that they do it. Now, in the province, we have water, and it'll take 20, 30 minutes to fill up a 5-gallon jug. It might even take longer. The water pressure that reaches our property is ridiculous. Now, we have our own well. We paid for and had a well put in. And we have plenty of water for as long as that aquifer will live. All right? And if we have to, we'll just dig it deeper if we need to. Okay? So we have no problem with that. Here in the city, we have never, in Angeles, we've never had a water issue. Where we live, we have water storage, and that'll get us through a day of no water. But once in a while, they do shut off the water, as any municipality will do when they're repairing water lines or anything like that. There have been occasions where those things have happened. But take a look at this picture. That's the biggest reason there's going to be a water shortage. That location is literally across the street from our condo. And for 2.5 years, that water line has been leaking. And it continues to leak nonstop, all the time. That cement sidewalk and the curb going down. It doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees outside or if it's 65 degrees outside. It's always wet. So for 2.5 years, that has been constantly leaking. And everybody knows it. The barangay knows it. They have people that walk by it every week when they do their cleanup around. The city knows it, because they're connecting and disconnecting water in the apartment complex beside it all the time. Well, not all the time, but frequently enough. All right? People have told municipalities about it People have written to the Angeles Water Department or whatever they're called. All right. But nobody does anything about it. It is yet to be taken care of. And that's just one spot. I know of at least 2 other places that are like that. All right. Not within sight of where we live, but some, places where we go. All right. That are always wet. My point is that if the Philippines wants to get serious, they've got to start at the top and work their way down, and they've got to start at the bottom and work their way up. They need to improve the infrastructure. They need to fix those things. Now, we see them fixing stuff, and maybe they're just overburdened. Maybe it's just too much. Maybe the infrastructure is too old and it needs so much repair. And they're doing the best that they can. And there are limited funds. Okay? I'm pretty sure that it should be the responsibility of the Angeles water people. Oh, somebody just snuck their head in. I think Arlen's checking on me. It should be their responsibility. I mean, when you get your water bill, there's all kinds of additional fees in there. Transportation fee, this fee, that fee, the other fee. Somebody's getting paid. It'd be nice if they fixed it. So don't let the news that there's a water shortage stop you from coming to visit. There's going to be plenty of water. You're not going to drink the water out of the tap anyways. You're going to drink bottled water, purified water. You're not going to drink street level water. Okay? Not unless you're a little bit crazy. All right? You're going to drink it filtered. Don't let that stop you from coming. Don't let that worry you. In the meantime, do the best you can. And let's hope that the current administration goes forward and puts more pressure on the water companies to store more water effectively and efficiently, to transport that water more effectively and efficiently. And let's hope they do something for the people out in the province, because those are the people that can least afford to go get bottled water when the taps are dry. Hey, we really appreciate your time, and hope you'll subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and have a great day.